Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, and I'm joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we're live and ready to give you a recap of the feedback that you had on our show last week. The official weapon of the show is
folding chair,
an unofficial sport,
bullet ball,
and bullet ball extreme. Feedback means we're going to talk about your comments on our website, your votes in our poll, your emails, anything we got in the physical mail, voicemails. I mean, all the mails. Okay, we gonna talk about it. So you can, you know, this is your place to be heard, and that's what this is the space we provide. And we actually have like a new place to get comments from because you guys have left comments, some of them on our ad-free episodes that we're now putting on Patreon.
Come on through, ad free.
Y'all can leave comments there as well. We already said that. The people that gave us money that just donated, okay, those people go to our website, look on the right hand side, and they just be like, hey, can I give some money to y'all just for existing? And what do you get for that? A shout out. And that's what we're about to do.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's own Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tithe to the Black Guy Who Tips.
That's right. New money, new funny. I've said that before. Bambi, Dr. Professor Bambi, Jason F, Kimberly the Falcons diva. Thank you to your team for getting us in the playoffs.
Shout out to the Falcons.
Can't wait to disappoint the world by losing to the Rams.
Yes,
but
sir.
We gonna do it.
On national television.
But you know what? They gotta play us, and they gonna have to play all 60 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Ken M, Lawrence C, Zach from the Living Corporate Podcast, Christoph R, and lastly Preston from the Slang of Ages Podcast, which we've been guest on. Thank you to everybody for the money. Did we get any 5-star reviews, or do you guys get commercials? We got some 5-star reviews.
Woo-hoo! Somebody took one for the team.
6 people took one for the team.
Let's go.
Re-upping my 5-star review because y'all are the bomb. This is from Victor, who says, this show is pretty much perfect, except for the Arby's and Sugar Grit slander. Just kidding. Or am I? LOL. Yeah, but imagine wanting a podcast that loves Sugar Grits and Arby's. You wouldn't even trust that yourself. That would just be AI on the algorithm. Just totally
You'd be like fake news.
Those people don't exist. My consistent favorite part of my day, says Omar, who says one of my favorite podcasts for their take on current events and how they maintain one's sanity and clarity through these times. Thank you, Rod and Karen. Thank you.
Thank you, baby.
Another 5-star review from G Benton, who says, Rod and Karen, thanks for all the great content. 5 stars. Happy New Year. And it says New Year, new review. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to 2026 Slang of Ages. So this is Dro. Preston, Team Dro. We were just talking about him. 5 stars. Thanks to Rod and Karen for the years of humor and unique perspective. I appreciate the humor, consistency, and integrity the Blackout Tips always brings. This is the good stuff. I'm looking forward to another great year. I'm going to miss the Vegas podcast convention, but I hope to see the Blackout Tips live again soon. Well, we'll hate to miss you there, but just always bet on black. Guy. Always bet on Blackout Tips. Most consistent pod ever. Toe knee caption says, y'all built it and they came. Yes. Yes. It's the same exact model as the women who date Zion Williamson. Okay. They build it and he comes.
Yes, he does.
But we did that with a podcast. Happy Podiversary. This is from Magnificent Breeze, who says, I've been here for 10 out of the 16 years, and Rod and Karen will still remain my favorite online discovery. Cheers to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sometimes I just think about how long some of y'all have been with us. Marriages have not lasted that long. You know? Jobs don't last that long.
Some of y'all got teenagers now, because 16 years, yeah. Like teenagers.
Y'all been able to stand our opinions for decades, for over a decade.
Yes, over a decade.
As our opinions change.
Shit, nigga, we almost able to vote.
Like, we don't know what's going to happen when we do the show. We don't know how our opinion is going to affect you and vice versa. And the fact that y'all allowed us that space and the ability to agree, to disagree, to challenge, to not challenge, to write in, to feedback, to not. Man, it's very beautiful, and I'm very thankful we built that. Mm-hmm. Episode 3204, Black People and Ducks. We got 5 comments on this one. Appia says, I don't do New Year's resolutions to be an extreme type A person with the opposite problem of obsession sometimes, so let's not feed the obsession wolf. When I commit, the execution will follow no matter what, so I really need to select what I commit to, but I'm fun, I swear. I enjoy the vision of a bit where Alternative Rod, the secret white people hater, is trying to prove he is not, only to accidentally prove he absolutely is. Like him saying, I like white people. I have white friends like Jeremy. Well, that's ironic. I used to say that all the time. Yeah, if you listen a long time ago, back when I had white friends, I would often make that joke of like, if I said something about like white supremacy or something, or a joke about white people, I'd be like, oh, you can't call me racist. I got white friends. You know, I used to do, even on Twitter back in my arguing days, if I said something and someone got so upset about me pointing out like, oh, this thing is racist or something, and they'd be like, you just hate white people, I would post a picture of me and my white friends and be like, no, this is me with white people. I have white friends. You can't, how dare you insult them by saying that. Only to Karen answering, Jeremy isn't white. His mother's from the Philippines. And then Rod staring into the distance. I really can't see it. Well, I'm sure racist Rod is also he's probably more popular in that alternative world with racists.
He is.
He probably got a bigger podcast than the one I'm experiencing.
Much bigger, and probably ain't got a black wife.
Prof Corey says, so glad y'all got the holiday card. Last year's didn't include an update, so I'm committed to including one every year now. Yes, Karen guessed right. The other woman has always been baseball, but she has become more disrespectful since we moved to Massachusetts. The 18 years we lived in Ohio, he played on 2 baseball teams.
Wow.
We moved for him to take a job with more responsibility than he was shouldering in Ohio, but he's playing on 4 teams up here. Damn. The other woman had a good year.
Claire, she doing that and you running marathons.
One of his teams won their age division championship this past season, so the other woman gave him trophies. I ain't trying to compete with that.
Right? I can't get you trophies now.
Appia says, I have very high vigilance. Luckily, I can decide where to use it. At work, it's very useful. I can let it play there. Yeah, I definitely being selective with it is something I'm working on myself, to be like, I'm gonna just let this shit go just to make my life easier, not necessarily because I changed my beliefs, but sometimes it's like, this was not a convenient time to have this discussion.
True. Yeah. The thing is, everybody has their things that they will fight on, you know, and they will stand on, and it varies per person, and also it varies per personality, because different people have different personalities. Like, there are things that you will fight on, and I'm like, oh, that shit ain't that motherfucking important to me.
You know what else it is too, Karen, is and this is just the way I live my life. As I get older, I see less and less people live their life like this, and it means we just can't really be friends in any intimate way. But I mean it when I say it, and I think a lot of people, it is lip service when they say it, okay? I don't have disagreement discussions with people I don't respect.
Agreed.
Meaning, the baseline for us to have a serious conversation is typically one of, I must already have some level of commitment to the fact that we're both good faith actors coming to this on mutual accord, agreeing to a certain level of what is and isn't real. Mm-hmm. I don't waste time talking to strangers on the internet that want to argue. Okay.
I don't.
And so, but I think a lot of people don't see that as a compliment or intimacy in the way that I do, meaning... Right. They don't value it because these niggas will argue with anybody, so they think I'm just talking to them like some fucking clown. And I'm like, no, nigga, I value myself way higher than that. I don't talk to clowns. So by the nature of us talking to each other, I am taking you off clown category. Now, if you would like to say, fuck that, I would prefer to be treated like a clown, I'm cool with that. I don't need to argue with you. I limited time on this earth. I don't need to spend any of it talking to people any more than I want to, who I do not enjoy their company or do not think highly of their thoughts. This has happened to me enough that I recognize, oh, I live my raps and most people don't.
Agreed.
I've been in mid-conversation. I had to remind people before, like, I'm not talking to you like this because I don't respect you. talking to you because we do respect each other. That like, and it's not like I say that after I just called them a name. Like I don't. Right. That's not what I'm not even. That part doesn't even enter the equation. I'm not gonna disrespect you and call you a name. But I've experienced that a few times in my life where like I could see someone was taking it as an insult. How dare I disagree? How dare I present an opinion that wasn't immediately tailored to just tell them how right they were? And so in those cases, I've learned to temper my hyper or just vigilance or whatever to be like, no. I see what's happening. Me and you just aren't those type of friends. And let me reevaluate. So like you get to say stupid shit to me and I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see any of it. Like if you just hit me up with something that, and I'm like, oh, you're not a person I can have discussions with. I'm fine with you just thinking that we must get along because I never talked to you back. And I just had to accept it.
Yeah. And one thing for me, as I've gotten older and as I've gotten more confident and as I've solidified my being an adult, I agree. My time is limited. Mm-hmm. And I hate to be like this. I don't like to talk to dumbasses. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't like to talk to dumbasses and stupid people. I don't like to talk to people that we're not having a conversation in good faith. And so that's just me, because my time is precious. Right. And my words are precious. And like I told you before, as a child who's a talkative ass bitch and been told to shut the fuck up and my words don't matter, and as somebody who's taught and consistently been dismissed as a child when I knew that I was telling the adults around me the right thing and everybody fucking dismissed me because I was a child. Like these are internal traumas that I'm sharing with y'all. As an adult, I realized my words are precious and my time is precious. And like I said before, I deal with bullshit on my job because they pay me. On my motherfucking free time, I do not like to waste it. So if I take the time to have a conversation, and on top of that, a lot of times when I'd rather have disagreements in person or on telephone, for me personally. I do not like having conversations on the internet.
Right.
Because there are too many assumptions. Words mean things. You can read things wrong and misinterpret things wrong, and feelings can be hurt. And nobody a lot of times will take the extra mile to actually explain themselves so that things can actually get resolved like they do in real life. Because to me, tone matters. To me, your inflection matters. To me, your facial expressions matter. These things matter to me when I'm trying to have a real intelligent conversation with someone. It matters to me. Maybe because my age, it matters to me. So when I'm talking to somebody, and I've talked to people and we flat out disagreed, but at the end of the day we were still cool, and I was like, okay, I see your way and you see my way.
I always say it and I just mean it, and I just know how many people don't mean it when they say it, but I don't consider it a real friendship till we can disagree and still coexist. Because I did it the only way we're going to measure friendship, especially in a social media environment where we can just like block, mute, unfollow. The only way it's going to be real to me is if you make it through some things together. You know, agreed. It's like saying you have a marriage, but the first time you get in a fight, you want to get divorced. That shit wasn't real. Y'all were just two people that were coexisting as long as everything was fine. But when it came time to conflict resolution and discussion and communication and stuff, you couldn't do it. So I say all that to say that being able to turn off that vigilance thing is something that I mostly just want to do to avoid talking to people I don't give a fuck about anyway.
Right, because the thing is, for me, there's very, very few people that I would actually talk to and actually like have a real like even me and you like have a real like debate with, even though we don't see eye to eye. And it's one of those things where if we can't disagree, are we friends? And a lot of people don't operate in that realm. Right. They operate in a realm of... I
think it's a thing people say, but they don't mean it.
Right.
When it comes to exercising it, it's just one of those things people say. Everybody thinks I'm a great communicator. I'll let you know it. No, you won't. Like some people are, but you can't tell until it happens. And a lot of times you just find out people talk a certain way, but they just talking. It's like being coworkers or something.
Yeah. And I realize as time goes on, you have to put people in various different categories, and there's nothing wrong, but I had to understand the way I view the relationship and the way the other person views a relationship might not always be the same. So I have to be realistic about my expectations and where I expect the relationship to go, and not trying to find at the end of the day, if I respect you, because sometimes things happen, I go, oh, I can't respect you anymore off of these things, so it will impact the relationship. On your end, you might think we're just fine because we are fine, but on my end, I've made the adjustments for me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, sometimes it's not, the hypervigilance is like, oh, I need to talk to them and let them know. And so now I'm at a point where I'm like, oh, no, that's fine. Ramsey D. Jenkins says, good morning, happy 2026. I'm slowly catching up on all the episodes. I too enjoyed Peter Dominic on the other week and started following his podcast on Spotify. Quick suggestion for Rod regarding ordering more Fred Soul incense. Check out Fred Soul incense either on Etsy or eBay. I feel so stupid. Guys, I solved this problem immediately after talking about it on the show. I just Googled Fred Soul incense, and then apparently they got a whole website.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so I went to their website and I ordered. Now it's expensive. Okay, just gonna let y'all know. But I ordered some, and I even found the sticky resin incense that you have to keep in the fridge. No heat, no light. And that's in my fridge right now, y'all. I can't wait to burn that shit. I've been burning them slowly, but I'm gonna burn that one. Those are my ones.
It's worth it because, like Roger say, for those they don't burn as quick as the other ones. They're really slow, and they just
smell so good, and the scent is so powerful without being like
intense.
Overpowerful.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, EV says happy new. Anyway, great discovery for me. Happy New Year Happy New Year's to my favorite podcast and to all its listeners, The Read. Just kidding. Rod and Karen, the Blackout is definitely my favorite podcast, and I thank you for making 2025 better and wishing you a great 2026. Well, you know what? Listen, The Read and us overlap a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of people whose favorite podcast is The Read, and we probably, hopefully, somewhere on the list.
Yeah, I'm just fine to be on the list.
If we could just touch the hem of their garment when it comes to these listeners,
ain't that the truth?
They probably rich. I don't know if they rich or not, but I don't know. They got a lot of listeners. Mm-hmm. In regards to the poll, I don't really make resolutions because I think you set yourself up for failure that way. I instead set realistic goals for myself that I would like to achieve. As long as I do my best, I can't fail. I think it's just how you define resolution, because I think that is also a resolution. A realistic goal is still a resolution, but I hear you. I too hate I hate failing. I hate saying I'm gonna do something and just not being able to do it. But I've challenged myself the last few years, and I've always made more progress at the thing that I set myself up to do. I don't necessarily call them New Year's resolutions. I've done them at any point in this year, like just in life, where it's like, I'm going to do this from now on. But if it's the ritual of the New Year, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, and sometimes I kind of wish that I had more of your mind frame, because I've done shit and failed at shit and not succeeded at shit and things like that. A lot of times I just assume, oh well, I'm not good at this, and I would just go on to the next thing. Mm-hmm. like in my mind, and maybe because I don't look at it as failures, in my mind's like, oh, I'm just not good at this, or like if I took the time to put the effort into it, I probably could be, but in my mind, at that period of time, the things weren't important enough to me to actually put the effort in to actually be good at it. So I guess in my mind, when I don't succeed, but to an extent, it's kind of a drawback, because sometimes I have fears of stepping into. Sometimes you have to push me to new things, because I'm like into things, and it's not the fact of failure, but I go, if I step in this realm, am I going to be good enough? Am I going to? I
used to feel like that. I used to feel like that, but truly, I think I've just had a difference in my mentality towards a lot of stuff. Appreciating progress in any area. I think it's progress that if you had zero progress and then you made 25%, but not 100, that's still 25% you didn't have before.
That's true.
And then the other part of it is, it's not the worst thing in the world to have attempted something and found out it's not that good. And then the last thing is, I found out that I can work at things to get better.
True.
I think that's one of the best things about the weightlifting stuff is it's all stuff that I've earned, and it might not show up the way that it shows up for other people, but I also am not doing it in a way that I wanted it. My goal is not to make this about everyone else. Even if I just take a picture of me leaving the gym, it's really for me that I took the pic, like put another day in at the gym. Here's my selfie leaving the gym. That's really just established. The same way when I cook, I enjoyed that I cooked, and there's self-validation in that, but also like this, everyone's sharing what they share on social media for whatever reason. I share, here's a meal I made. Sometimes people are like, it doesn't look appetizing, or it don't matter to me at the end of the day. Be nice, but it don't matter to me for real, because it's like this was really about me. And I think in those ways, I've learned to get better. I cook better than I used to cook because I kept cooking.
True.
I lift heavier weight than I was lifting before because I kept lifting the weights. Not everything I touch is I'm going to be immediately a savant at, and there's a value to that.
It is. It builds character. And sometimes I think people want to lose that. They want the end results without the work.
Black People and Ducks on YouTube. We got 3 comments. Sweet Feet says, what's the name of the incense shop in New York? I'd love to check it out. It's called Scintillate. Scent space elate. It's in Manhattan, I believe. This is my New Year's resolution. Jazzy Sunflower laughing at me when I talked about how I'm gonna have sex every day, multiple times a day, as my New Year's resolution. She says, you two really make a cute couple, wishing you continued success. Thank you, Jazzy Sunflower.
Thank you, baby.
Appreciate you. Let's see, anything on Spotify? Let me check those comments. None for this episode. And Patreon, like I said, I'm posting the ad-free episodes on here, and some of y'all leaving comments over there, so I will endeavor to try to remember to check these, but I don't think I had posted this one on there yet. This was before I decided
to do it. Yeah.
So the poll is, do you make New Year's resolutions? 23% yes, 77% no. Well, sounds about right. I think a lot of people kind of don't do it for a bunch of different reasons. All right, let's go to the next segment after this commercial break.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. This is just a commercial break. Relax, sit back, enjoy. This is just a commercial break. Do not get the break. This is just a commercial.
Episode 3205, Hyped Jazz. We bantered about a bunch of stuff. It was fun.
It was.
Shot poopers and the ambient music and Karen's gift for her mom with the bunch of stuff.
You put me to work.
5 comments. Abia says, dear Karen, this time you said in a funny way that maybe you need to lift some weights. I agree. In our age, I'm 1 year older, you child. Lifting weights for women is very beneficial for bone density. I know you are into health. And then she put a link to something.
Yeah, because my doctor, for osteoporosis and things like that, they were saying it's very, very good to have like the muscle structure and like the bone structure and things like that. Because I have like older family members that just sitting one time, one of my aunts, she sat and she fractured her hip. And it was one of them things where it wasn't nothing heavy or anything like that, but they was like, that's how precious your bones can be when you get to a certain age. So just to reduce that, the stronger they are, you have a better longevity of reducing injuries as you get older.
She also says, I see Rod's point about alcohol, but I loved Karen's input. Heavy drinking is down also here, and it's good. I see the point Rod is making, but still people still like that people are drinking less. I told you already, when I was a child in Poland, alcoholism was insane and poor. Like sights of drinks in streets in daytime was a regular thing for me. People who are alcoholics for real cut out anything else first. And like I said, like that was a good conversation. That's a good example of what I'm talking about. Is Karen brought up a point that I didn't even really know about, and it was something I hadn't even really put that much weight into, because I thought, oh yeah, like we do so many things that are really about the economy is shrinking, and then we treat it like consumers are making conscientious choices that are for their health, when sometimes it's just, I don't got alcohol money.
Right.
But Karen's point is right. A lot of this is social too, and and maybe even people switching over drugs and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's why I love having this show. I love having these discussions with Karen and with other people. That's why good faith is so important to these discussions.
Yes, good
because
faith.
It's not about trying to like win a debate and be like, no, I say this the economy.
You're right.
It can be all of it.
Yes, and something else about the way we talk to each other, like I've done it to you and you've done it to me. Like you have something and you might be like, explain to me, or I might be like, explain to me.
Right.
And for some people during a conversation, people treat that like fighting words. You're like, no,
Right.
I just want you to explain it so that I can better understand
Right.
where you're coming
That's
from.
why you need the good faith.
Yes,
I'm not
that's what you
like,
need to
because some
say.
people will say stuff like that rhetorically or in a way to like embarrass you, or because they think you can't explain it. And I get why people take it that way, but intent is everything to me.
Intent means
So,
something. Yes.
Ramsey D. Jenkins says 5 stars for the replay gang. I hope to catch y'all live this week. I miss being in the chat room. Sean says, wait, a poorly considered plan to eliminate pennies without a clear strategy for implementation being put in place during the highest retail sales volume time of the year is going badly. Who'd have thunk it? EVE says, really, Karen really do be knowing. She called it on the alcohol declining. I think a lot of kids these days aren't drinking as much as they are smoking weed. But then again, the kids in my area are into the hard stuff. There's a whole section in Philly they call Zombie Land because people roam the street nodding and high as a kite. They do daily body sweeps in the area because at any given time of the day, there are people passed out in the street. Wow. Sometimes they're sleeping, sometimes they're passed out from drugs, and sometimes they're dead. All this to say that alcohol may be on the decline, but I think it's being replaced by something else. And in Dumps America, I think the drug problem is about to be out of control because people will turn to these vices to cope.
I agree, and there was already a drug epidemic in our country anyway, because like on the low, me and Roger been covering articles, and a lot of times they're in these white rural places that are financially struggling and things like that, where a lot of these people have a tendency to turn, particularly to meth and things like that, and that's why across the country, all of a sudden, when it was crack, nobody cared. But on meth, all of a sudden, the face of meth was these white people, and they wanted the laws to not be as harsh and be less lenient because, quote unquote, the face of these drugs were white people. And so, it's going to be a thing where a lot of these harder drugs, because, as things happen for some people, they ratchet it up. And so, as things become more depressing for people, or they feel like there's no form of escapism, people use drugs as a form of escape for some people. And so, my heart goes out because, it's one of those things where it's just going to make the problem even worse. And then a lot of the policies and procedures and plans and people's whose whole job it is to help and assist these people, government programs are getting slashed and cut and sliced, like the things that would help people and assist people and get them back on their feet and give them the things that they need to get off drugs and things like that, and recovery programs. Like, these things matter. Like, who you have in office matters, and who you put in the position of power matter, because these people are human beings. And just because you pass laws and say lock them up and throw them away in jail, it does not make the problem go away, and it does not make the situation disappear.
YouTube got 3 comments. What's funny about the Venezuela thing is that Venezuela was planning to invade Guyana, a neighboring country that recently discovered huge oil reserves. Well, the girl on the other side of the road, that's why I'm glad my first statement on this event was I'm not an internationalist.
I am not.
That's all. I know how Trump and them get down, and I doubt that this will turn out well for Venezuela because he's not a good person, and his policy is often racist and bullying and all that shit. But I don't know enough to be telling them about the leader of their country being ousted. If some people feel that's a good thing because they've been living under his thumb, who am I to be like, no, he was actually okay? I don't know, and I think it's weird that we jump online and based on our own myopic point of view, start trying to, tell everybody how to feel. Not you and me, but general. Yeah. And I've tried to avoid that. So when we talk about it, I didn't try to pretend like I know everything that happens in Venezuela and I know about the oil. And I don't know all that. I just know that this man is living a lawless existence and no one's reining him in.
Agreed.
Ramsey PH says 5 stars so that Karen won't call me out. Happy 2026.
Thank you. Yay. right.
Jason says, I found listening to Rod trying to pronounce those foreign liquor brands way more amusing than it should have been. Haha. Apparently Walmart must be looking real flammable these days. 2 Walmart fire stories. You know, I've been concentrating so much on our beef with Target. I must have missed the clear animosity the whites have for Walmart.
Right?
That economic anxiety must burn.
Yes, burn.
He put CSI music.
Yeah,
intro.
that one deserved the music.
Let's see. And anything for comments on Spotify? One. Missed at Spotify says 16 years later, over 3,200 plus episodes, not including the bonus premium booster pack, 3 administrations, no chasing the low-hanging fruit sensationalism as a married couple, in claps. To hell with the numbers. This is true success. Bless you both. Stay dope. Oh, thank you.
I didn't realize we've been through 3 administrations.
Yeah, I mean,
Goddamn, we was in the Obama era, I think.
some of them was repeat, so it really would have been more. If it hadn't have been a repeat, we would have had more of these administrations to cut through. But yeah, we went through all that jazz. And yeah, I'm proud and happy of what we've built to do this. So thank y'all, man. It's been like, I guess that's one of the point of recognizing anniversaries, give people a chance to say something kind or to acknowledge or remind you of something. Yeah, this episode is called Hype Jazz, and we got one comment on this on Spotify. Walmart fire sale, says Debbie Allen Kicks. It was a fire sale. It's on fire. And the poll was Rod's ambient poop bathroom sounds idea. Yes or no? I was shocked by these results. Shocked, I tell you. 73% no. Y'all do not want poop sounds constantly playing in the bathroom so that when you go in there to use the bathroom, it's already poop sounds so you can poop as loud as you want with no judgment.
With no interruptions.
Y'all just want mellow music playing with farts over it. That's what y'all want. Y'all want smooth Kenny G with just fart. 27% of y'all are logical. And maybe shot poopers like me. And y'all came to the conclusion that we need that music. It would be better if life had that music. And I'm with you guys. Y'all are right.
Did you read the Patreon?
Yeah, the Patreon had the one comment. And yeah. I read all the comments for this one.
Okay.
YouTube, Patreon, and Spotify. I got to all of them. Let me just double check the Spotify one more time, but I think I got to that one.
No
too.
problem. I keep thinking. I was like, let me check just to be sure my brain.
Girl, it's so many comments all over the place.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Thank you for asking.
Let's check.
So that's 2 of these. You know what? Let's go to the third one with no break. 3206 rip roaring drunk. 11 comments. Shit, I should have took that break. Let's see. Apia says, I obviously also don't know about the afterlife, but is of great interest. Oh, my headphones went out for a second.
Oh, snap.
Yours still working?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I still hear you and hear
All
me
right,
too.
I got to shorten my headphones somewhere, guys.
Oh,
and
snap. Did you want to take the break then?
No, well, it'll be okay. I can hear myself talk. Obviously, I also don't know about the afterlife, but it's a great interest of mine. I read all the books on the near-death experiences. Near-death experiences, so interesting. I like thinking about those things. And my father had one as a child in his pretty textbook Tunnel Light, the live review. He only talked about it 40 years later. By the way, what people of all sorts say in them, it doesn't matter what religion you have on earth as long as you behave in a good way to others, love, and all. And I like that. Karen, well, here's my thing, Apia. About my question is, would you say as an interest of yours, would you have talked to them people? If 2 people just walked up like, hey, let's talk about the afterlife, stranger. Would you like sit down on the park bench and like kick it with them? How interested are you in the afterlife? Or are you like not that interested, stranger?
I was trying to get my steps in. My heart rate was going down.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's kind of interested in the afterlife, or at least the concept of it. But sit down and talk to a nigga in the park, I'm not that interested. Karen walking behind Rod. Oh no, it's fine. Karen walking behind Rod might give others the impression that Rod wants that because of his alpha status. He refuses to walk side by side with a woman. Some coaches do that. That's true.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's why they probably didn't pay me no attention.
Well, she don't care about making me look bad, guys. If I look like the kind of abusive man that's like a woman walking beside me,
hell no.
Why would I ever be okay with that? Like,
yeah, like I said, I don't have a problem. Like Roger said, I'm too nice. I actually just need to walk beside him and just be like, fuck you niggas. But I just walk behind him a lot of times to make it easier.
it's not even a fuck you, right? I mean, it's okay to walk beside me without you're not doing anything wrong, or it's weird that your brain went to I'm saying fuck you because I'm walking in the path I was already occupying.
I told you, I got this weird brain. That's how my brain views it. I know that's irrational and illogical.
The other problem is that she starts doing this so far away from the people, guys. It wouldn't bother me if like 5 feet away from the people, Karen was like, okay, they are within a few feet. Let me step to the side for 1 second and then just step right back. She be seeing them from 90 feet away and just immediately start being like, I got to get out the way. It's like, what? Why? Who are these people? It's not the king and queen of England.
Stop shrinking yourself, girl.
Yeah, like I don't get it, but that's what I have to deal with.
I would try my best to get better. See, everybody gets complicated. You see how before I was just like, love yourself, have conversations with people. Now I'm like, but I got to walk move in the back.
Yeah, it's not rude. They're walking too. They ain't moving.
Yes, they are. I'm a complicated creature.
Michael sounds like Michael says, I was raised Jehovah's Witness, so I had to go around knocking on people's doors as a teenager with social anxiety. Oh, no. I don't think that's why I'm an atheist now, but it didn't help. The 2 young white guys sounded like Mormon missionaries to me. Loved your reply to them. Good luck with that, indeed. Yeah, I meant it on his face. Sean says, next time I go abroad, I'll have to book Hilton. Their anti-thug policy is quite the sales point. I found out that the Hilton don't stand on business, so do with that what you will. I heard they was like, we sorry, or that's not, I think they said officially like, that is a franchise like that's not an official that's not Hilton policy. That's not corporate. We love dealing with jackbooted thugs. We would never stop the Gestapo. Also, what I found interesting is that I've seen little evidence of rational fault on the people accused of Trump derangement syndrome. However, I've never met a rational Trump supporter. Perhaps there is a Trump derangement syndrome, but it's causing otherwise sane people to support a racist criminal D-list celebrity with age-related mental infirmity. Yeah, but I think they would say to that, Sean, I know you are, but what am I?
Bounce off of me and sticks to you.
Mm-hmm. That's really what Trump derangement syndrome is, just basically them being like, I know you are, but what am I? I'm like, y'all like pedophiles. I know you do. What? No, you really do. It's legally, yeah, these are.
There's a crimes against these.
I really love Australia for the U16 social media ban, say under 16 social media ban, says Rona Raphael. One of the greatest moves by a government in this age of social media. I tell you, there's so much that we have accepted from these tech companies that shouldn't be so. We as a society, and people seem to be fine with damaging the damage being done to us. At least we should do something for the children. Look at New York State banned cell phones in all public schools starting last semester. By the holiday break, with the increase in student engagement was reported. A report also dropped about an unexpected percentage of kids not being able to read. It's like they were glitching without social media for those hours, which they had been using to mask the problem when teachers were right there. The good thing is that they're still young and can be quote unquote saved. Unfortunately, at the class, they're going right back to those devices. So are the teachers are the teachers working? Time will tell. I'd rather the Australian way and hit the tech companies' pockets and reprogramming the kids. These companies' execs don't have their children on their products, but we do.
I hear a lot of
We
that.
don't see the issue. If Reagan knew what this was possible, he would have attacked via social media.
Yeah, I've seen like articles where they kind of speak to some of these people. A lot of them are like quote unquote anonymous, but a lot of them will flat out tell you, no, my children do not use social media. They was like, I work in this, I see how it affects their brains, I see how it impacts you, I see how addictive it is because I help design the shit. No, I will not allow my children on this. But yet your kids can be on the bullshit to help me make my money though, but my children are not allowed to because they see the end results of what can happen. It was like, if it fuck up adults, you know it's gonna fuck up children.
Apia says cell phones in our public school where my children go have always been banned. I wonder how else it's even functioning in school. Sean says, my university students are all addicted to their smartphones. We use them for attendance, so a ban is not possible. But I often start classes with 15 minutes of writing, speaking, and translation without their devices, depending on the class. They will start pulling out their smartphones in the middle of this activity, and if I point it out to them, they will be shocked. They are so addicted that they do not even know that they are reaching for their smartphone.
Right, it's an automatic thing.
Yeah, I am too in that way. Like sometimes I've done that before where I'm sitting somewhere and I reach down. I'm like, why am I looking for my phone? I don't need it. By the way, Rod, about the translation stuff, that's done by stealing IP as well. It uses two major techniques. Learning language models, they get all the language from the internet. They can scrape to create a language profile for each language. Then they scrape the internet for paired translations where there are two versions of the same web page or document in different languages, and use those translations to train their models. So the hard work put out by translators around the world is being used to put those translators out of business. While I recognize that there are lots of issues for this, uses for this software, because I have done translation work myself, have friends who are personal translators, and am training the next generation of translators, I think that is important that this point is made. That's a very valid point, very good point. I think what I'm pointing out is a specific use case, and that use case is not the one that I think would be so threatening to your occupation. So like, I'm saying in cases where I absolutely would not hire a translator, and the vast majority of people would not even think to do it, it is good to have a rudimentary cell phone version of, I found myself in a situation and this phone is going to help me out. And I don't have the money to hire a personal translator, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know where to do that possibly.
Right. And the transactions are normally very quick. They're not very long.
Whatever.
Right.
I just know that in this situation, nothing is being enhanced by the lack of a translator, or because there would not be, like, the other alternative isn't there would be a translator.
Okay,
so
right.
It's like a calculator. In that way, I think artificial intelligence, quote unquote, I call it automation, really. I don't think it's artificial intelligence at this point.
Right.
But automation in that point, I don't find to be as threatening to the core of artistry and creativity and humanity.
Right, because you still need people to translate it.
I would imagine there's another use case where a big ass company that would normally hire a translator would be like, we gonna just use this program, and even if it's shittier, even if it's worse, even if it's making sure a person doesn't get a job, that use case I would be against. I hope that clarifies. But obviously all of the artificial intelligence stuff is working off of something. It didn't invent anything. Even a calculator didn't invent the math. It's automating the math. So I get it on a deeper level, but just that was my point. Yatunde says those two young white men were most likely Mormons. They can be found dressed in button-downs, shirts, and ties, sometimes on bikes, and are usually in pairs. I avoid them, and all proselytizers like the plague. Here's the thing, Yatunde, they must be upgrading the firmware, because they was wearing business. They was casual. They was just wearing like Panthers jerseys. Maybe that's the new move. It's like you go there, you get the local team colors, and you just start asking people about
they started to update the firmware. They was like, look. We still got lots of thumbs. Like we got the like too many people are avoiding us. Like we got to make it so we can kind of catch the people off guard, right?
EVE says, when Karen asked if Trey Songz was cut off, I laughed so hard.
That's my jam.
Trey Songz is a menace and too damn old to be acting the way he does.
For
He's
real,
like Chris
though.
Brown and seems like he has unresolved anger issues. I recommend therapy. Prof Curry says, Rod accusing EVE of eating nasty ass raccoon meat, LOL. Sean says, I mean, it is better than nasty raccoon ass meat, I suppose. EVE says, Rod is just a hater. He knows Arby's has the meats and it's not raccoon. Yes, the steak bites might be questionable, but everything else is 100% beef, chicken, and pork.
That's the only thing that might not be real, but the rest of it is real, Rod.
Do you need some money?
I just need them. Do they have your children kidnapped? who at Big Arby's has put you up to this? Why are they doing this to you?
That's hilarious.
Free EVE family Arby's. Let her be free so she can live her truth.
Get them their family back.
3 comments on YouTube. Good points about the dress issue, says Felicia. I forgot the dress issue. that we talked about.
The dress issue.
Yeah, what was the dress issue?
I forgot to. I'm sorry.
Oh, the pastor in the dress.
Okay. Yes. Oh, yes.
69, your soul to the Lord. Preach, Rod. Thank you. Jason says, man, I remember the Trey Songz Chris Brown came out at the same time. Back then, I had no idea the light skin rage that had been unleashed on the world.
Me either.
If Ice thought it had trouble getting hotel rooms at the beginning of the week, I can't imagine what it is now. They're about to be living that struggle, stand-up comedian life. Just a grab blanket and recline those seats back in the Nazi. Grab a blanket and recline those seats back in their Nazi mobiles. Man, the Chris Brown thing is interesting. Because I definitely feel like the Trump administration is a cultural signal that nothing counts, nothing's real. Last night at the Hornets game, someone yelled out, "Free R. Kelly," as everybody was leaving. And I just was like...
I missed that.
Yeah, I heard it and I just like double took and then just kept walking. But I was like, maybe that's the world we're living in now. Everybody just thinks you can do fucking anything.
What?
Rip Roaring Drunk, we got comment on Spotify. Jay Damo says, y'all not the only ones. I hate trying to get that damn circle green on the eye machine. I also hate the one that blows a puff of air, even more so when I have to repeat it because I close my eye too soon. Yeah, that's because you scaredy. Can't be scaredy out here, guys.
That shit feel like a fucking Xerox. Like,
we got one comment on Rip Roaring Drunk on Patreon. Natasha says, I absolutely love that we get the regular episodes ad-free in our premium feed now. Rod and Karen, stay hooking us up. Thank you.
I see somebody bragging.
We appreciate you. Okay. Another person put, yay. Thank you as well for the yay. Oh, I see now I gotta click on each one to see if it's comments. Interesting. I didn't realize that's how that worked.
Okay.
So the first one I did was at Hype Jazz. Let me make sure that
you got them all?
Make sure I got them all. Yeah, thanks for this, y'all. That's from Soul Power. So we got 2 comments there. And what was the other episodes? Rip Roaring Drunk, Hype Jazz, and then Black People and Ducks. Was it? Okay, it didn't post on there yet. Okay, cool. Got it.
Okay.
Up to date. Now to the poll. Has a stranger ever approached you to speak to you about their religion? I'm the one who approaches people about my religion, 0%. So none of y'all are the proselytizers. 2%, no. The 2.63% have never had this happen, which means 97% of us has had this happen to us. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And also, not trying to funny, depends on what part of the country that you're in too. You know, particularly if you're down in, south area, you have the probability to shoot straight up through the air just because the way it's structured around here, it's like a church on every corner.
But 97%, that feels like bigger than the South, Karen. That seems like everybody be having this happen everywhere.
A lot of small towns and stuff, yeah.
Shout out to the Mormons and them people that be sending them folks out. I guess they on their grind.
Yeah, them people be relentless.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the next segment. But first, I have to make some money at some point, or the people at our heart gonna ask what happened. All right, last episode of the week, the only January 6th that matters. 9 comments on this one. We got Justin says $500 for her phone bill is crazy. I have 6 phones on my family plan and I'm only paying $240 a month with my wife's new phone included in that price. Well, Justin, don't fall for it. It's gender wars. It's not.
The price was inflated.
They got you. Ramsey D. Jenkins says happy 16th anniversary. Wishing you and Karen many more years of podcast and laughter and joy. I've been listening since 2016. Wow, 10 years. Apia says, I imagine how this replaying Karen, she struggled in the beginning with work like an actor. Oh, I guess when Karen said she wouldn't have been the guest on, she didn't want to be the co-host.
Right.
Like an actress would play the role of Karen, or would it just be some other person? I'm assuming some other person.
Yeah. In my brain, that's how I processed it.
Let's tell some heartwarming stories from the Morrow household, but unfortunately the co-host, the actress, never participated, so banter would be pretty boring.
I think it will be too, baby.
There's no great show without Karen. Sean says, congratulations on 16 years. The best wishes for at least 16 more. After listening to Real House Husbands again, I just want to say blink thrice. If you are not safe, Rod, we can get you help.
Come on, Real House Husbands.
I'm safe. I'm safe. Library Mary says, regarding the poll, I don't agree with mandatory military service, but I do think some kind of government or civil service at the beginning of adulthood is a good idea. I think this would make it so fewer people are ready to check out on voting and pay attention to politics because they would better understand how different policies, decisions affect their lives. P.S. Happy podcast anniversary. That's a good point, Library Mary. I wish there was something.
Yeah, I could do with that. Like making the military, no, because that's not for me. But yeah, like you say, I think if people understood how these things impact them, I really do believe they would be less likely to say it don't matter. They would be less likely to say, my voice don't matter and shit like that. Like if they really understood it.
Rona Raphael says, congratulations to 16 years of delivering the best podcast in the world. Cheers for more years of podcasting for you too, as long as you find joy in the game. As per the poll, I separated recency situation from my vote. I most times when this question is thrown up, it's just a very black and white angle. Not you guys are the $2 hoes. So the poll was, do you think a year in military should be mandatory for all Americans? That was the poll. He says, if the military was just guns, pow, pow, why would HECSF be going overtime to weaken it to remove as many black and brown folks plus women? When you have natural disasters in your state, who is standing next to your governors? Also, why the Peace Corps and other similar agencies never count? These kind of play a role in why some of our side were like, man, when Rubio cut the funding to USAID and other programs, we only use one lens at looking at these programs. By the way, I was fortunate to meet the NC head of state Peace Corps last year, and that's how I came to know that even states had similar programs. So yes, a year in the military would be good, but why only the military? Peace Corps and as many options should be part of the question. Maybe next time mofos won't be selfish and allow a fascist cut funding to these agencies. Military will be mine, others won't. It's time that we take this power away from the ignoramuses asking the questions and empower the $2 hoes. To me, my $2 hoes. I'll put that on a t-shirt. I need a song for this. Where my DJ at?
I don't know. We don't. Sorry, we didn't. Nobody made a remix.
Not putting me to work today. Cheyenne say, "Hey y'all, and happy anniversary." The pictures posted on Instagram were so precious. Yeah, I posted a post on Instagram celebrating our 16th anniversary for the podcast and with pictures of us from high school and everything.
Look at little kids.
I'm writing in to say I think every able person should work as a government officer for 2 years from military service to law enforcement. Yeah, there's something to it. Although the question I then have is, would military culture become indoctrination for a lot of people who otherwise would have been like, I'm anti going to war and shit, but then it's like, well, what influences what? Do those people coming into the military influence a less warmongering type of populace, or does it work the other way where once you're in the military, everybody know how to handle a gun? It's like, now we super about that life. Mm-hmm. Ray from the 804 says, happy anniversary, Karen and Rod. So the thing that really irks me about the Dwight Howard story has nothing to do with his idea, how people responded to it. It really bothers me how much the low information people have come to accept the idea that if the president says this, that we're just doing it now like it's a new law. Right. That is not how fucking laws get made. Mm-mm. Apologies for the all caps. I had to get that out of my system. Y'all are smart and reasonable enough to understand. Love y'all. Bye. You right, Ray. You right.
We have checks and balances. Like we have shit in place. But when you have somebody in office that, even before they got to office, they basically say, I'm not doing that shit, fuck that shit, and people go, well, put that man in office, this is the end result.
Yeah, this new normal is not normal. EVE says, congratulations on 16 years. I'm not sure how long I've been listening, but it's been close to 10 years. The show number still was in 3 digits. I remember groupie tales of hating ass Terrell Jones. I think about Terrell sometimes. I wonder if she's somewhere out there still hating. I always assumed it was a he. Mm-hmm. There was too much talk about the dress. I had to go Google it and dress. While it's not something I typically see on a pastor's wife, but I'm sure his wife is one of the Real Housewives, and that's totally a dress they wear, and they weren't in church but at a social event. The dress was fine. People are just looking for an excuse to tear a woman down. I hear you. I mean, like I said, it probably helps that I'm not that religious, because to me that was just 2 rich black people, and he got a rich fine ass wife that probably dressed like in the finer things. Yep. And she was decided that y'all was gonna get this body, and okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Not my business, really, but I also don't give them money or listen to much of their sermons. So
Right.
if it violates some sort of hypocrisy, I don't know, but maybe people in that world would know more. And of course, that world can be very slut shamey and sex shamey.
Yes, it can.
YouTube. Nick says, old boy so embarrassed that he pulled his phone out, continued to yell in public, then post on Twitter, clearly doing anything for clout. Forget which story that was, but that's evergreen. Happy anniversary, y'all, says Shane Smiths, who says, here's to another 16 if we make it through the Orange Minutes, to be honest. Well, I'm going to wish that into existence. Let's make it through. Happy Potiversary. You guys are wonderful. Baby girl had me with my phone bill, $500, says Damian Fox. Oh, that's what he was saying. The person that posted the gender war. Okay. He was so embarrassed, he filmed it all and then posted it. A good point. If it really was embarrassing, don't you just not post it?
Agreed.
Kim says, happy anniversary. I got a lot of episodes to catch up on. I know you said you weren't looking for all points, but I said all out loud when I heard your admiration for your wife. It was a beautiful black love moment. I'm a clergy person and my algorithm is full of commentary on that dress. I'm kind of tired of it and him. Love the ether beat though. Thank you, Kim. And I don't mind. I don't mind if it makes you all just know it's genuine. It would, if y'all wouldn't have said shit, it wouldn't have mattered as far as
everybody would have moved on.
But I think also, like, we live in a world where people are either performatively praising their wives on some, like, this is part of my content, or it's what I find happens more often is this, it's almost corny to be like, nah, I love my wife and these are the things that I enjoy about her. It's like, we're still in that hack 2000s 90s era comedian where it's like everyone needs to hate the person they're with and tell you what's the worst thing about them.
Yep.
And so I don't, I enjoy not feeling like that.
Yes, yeah, because like I told y'all before, my house and my home and the people that I'm intimate with, I want to feel safe and I want a place of peace. If I have to consistently fight you and battle with you, why are we together? I could be by myself and alone and fight the world by myself. Well, we're supposed to be fighting the world together, not fighting each other and the world too. That's a lot of fighting, dog.
Darth Vakra says, happy anniversary, y'all. Regarding the Pastor on Pastor B with Jamal Bryant's wife in that amazing dress. This was actually settled in the Bible by Jesus. In several verses, he called for men to pluck out their eyes if they see something that causes them to sin and lust, women specifically. You think since this is his job that the hating ass pastor would know this, but let's be real, these folks never really read the Bible and they wouldn't behave like this. I'm gonna be honest, like I said, I'm not a religious person. Take that as a grain of salt because I know there are people who listen that are religious who probably think I'm just talking crazy, but I would really be turned off if my pastor was wasting time. I would be like, I don't want to be here at this church.
I would be very upset. I'm not gonna lie. Yes,
there's so many things. You're
wasting my time.
There's so many things happening in the world. This mean girl bullshit is not important.
No, it's not.
I don't care what the other pastor dressed. What? I don't go to his church.
Right.
I'm here with your church.
Yes. I 100%. I would be like, Pastor, what is you doing? What did thus say the Lord? You're wasting my time.
It's kind of weird if your wife takes it as a compliment that you dissed that other man's wife. Like, I would feel away. I don't need that. Like, if you happy with me, you happy with me. You don't gotta take down the next person's woman.
Right.
What is that proving? Jason says maybe it's for the best that Clooney runs away. I have a feeling that Hunter Biden has it on site, as the kids say. Yeah, I feel that. When
I think he see that man. He liable to put his dukes up.
When you were doing the segment on the pastor beef, I started typing trying to play the $2 game too. I was like, back in elementary school, I would have got 8 pickles and 4 bags of popcorn for his wife. Or I could do 2 loads of laundry, but the second load still kind of damp for his wife. Haha, I thought the second gender wars was really good. Not only was it quality, harmful rage bait, but it was also a commentary on how $500 doesn't go as far as it used to. It was gender wars, broke, and politics until we get mad all in one. Plus the idea of holding the camera to your face while saying you're embarrassing me is just too 2026, isn't it?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Can you imagine? Man, I don't have it in me.
I don't have it in me either, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I have you because Claire, the way the internet treats people and its version of relationships is very flawed. And I'm like, this shit can't be real, because if you love and care about people, there's certain shit you just don't do.
We got 2 comments on Spotify. Happy Sweet 16th from Aaron, and happy 16th anniversary from TJBB76. Thank you. And then we got a lot of comments on Patreon for this one.
Oh, snap.
A lot for some reason. Let's see. We got Youngblood Priest, who says, happy anniversary, fam. I've been listening since the days of the Morning Jones. This is the first podcast I ever listened to. Can't believe it's been damn near 20 years and I'm still entertained and educated. As an older black dude, it makes me feel good to see a black couple be successful enough to make an actual living at this. Queen Karen, Key Rod, keep doing what you do and continue success. Thank you, Youngblood Priest.
Thank you.
And Debbie Allen Kicks replied with 100 emoji and 2 wine glasses clinking. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lola says, congratulations, keep on keeping on. We will, Lola. Debbie Allen Kick says, in the words of Annie, tomorrows, we love you, tomorrows, and a happy 16th today. Bow, take a bow, y'all. Now with the shiz. This was misogyny wrapped in church speak. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it was.
The fact that it was about the wife is crazy.
Yes.
But he was using it to diss the man, so it's not really even about the wife. My thoughts, so a bishop front loads a highly convincing praise of his wife as a segue to diss the pastor's wife and ridicule him for publicly praising her. I can't tell if this is a FOMO, FOMO or shade. It's weird either way.
It's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah. He took a personal inside conversation that men have with their wives so they can ogle women, and he baited our business. Okay, now if you want to personally want to ogle some woman and you got the kind of wife that's uptight about that shit, you just privately be like, I can't believe she wearing that dress. Look at that dress, showing all them curves. Don't nobody want to see that mess.
I do a lot of that in church.
Lord, let me wipe a little bit of drool from my mouth.
No!
It's so disgusting. It's making my nipples hard with disgust. Like, then just do that privately. Don't turn your hating into public hating, because I can see through it. I'm like, you was looking at that dress.
Right.
You was half chub looking at that dress trying to convince me you disgusted. You're not disgusted. As usual, the autonomy of women is foregone, and you let her wear that pissing matches.
Yep. Because then it's about women and them being property, not actually being an individual person, and not actually having their own voice and their own opinion, and things like that. And, and some religions, women are, well, in real life and in like regular society and religion is sometimes even worse, second-class citizens.
Yeah, and also, like, he couldn't really win you over because 2 mega church pastors beefing. That's like, now if you was like a regular church person, like you was doing yours in some side of the road church without that much attendance, I could almost hear you being like, man, these mega church pastors are opulently spending quote unquote God's money, and we don't need all this, and that's not a good example as a Christ-led person, blah blah blah. You would at least have an angle that I'd be like, I could see somebody getting there without it being hate. Well, you like, listen, why the fuck pastor need a Ferrari? Like, why? Where else could that money be going to actually help people on this earth?
Right.
That's not even the angle he took. It was just like, he be letting her wear that? I doubt it. Surprise, surprise, patriarchal undertones of ownership strikes again. Yeah. Happy Potiversary, says FL Duchess. Happiest Potiversary, Ryder Karen, says Aaron. Tracy says happy Potiversary from a new scholarship recipient but long time listener. Wishing you all many more years of success. Yeah. Somebody else this week donated a membership, because they actually, what they did was they signed up for it on Patreon, even though they already had one on our website, and they said, can you just gift mine to someone else? So like I said, I will match them. I'm not going to keep advertising because it'll just go forever. But if someone chooses to give money in the capacity of what it would be typically a membership, I will gift memberships to people. One for you and one for us. So like, I'm matching the memberships. So 2 people got behind the paywall this week because somebody did that. Aaron says, perfect example of racism making a bitch stupid. Megyn Kelly. Oh yeah, that was my quote. And she said, not pastor on pastor beef. Agreed. Listen, The pastors is fighting. The pastors are fighting. The pastors are fighting.
Yes, the cloth is fighting. The cloth is fighting.
And the poll was, do you think a year in the military service should be mandatory for all Americans? 86% say no. 14% say yes. So the vocal 14% gave comments, but not the people that felt the higher majority of people who felt like, I don't want that shit.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't say anything because y'all pacifists. I get it. Y'all don't want to fight. It makes sense.
Yeah, I don't want to fight. And also, it's just one of those things because America and how its treatment of black people and black and brown bodies a lot of times is be doing this fighting, going over and fighting black and brown bodies in other places that speak another language and other people make the decisions and shit like that. Like for some people, you look at it, you go, I don't want to be a part of it. I'm grateful and I'm thankful that people take those positions. And for a lot of people, I know for a lot of my older family members, they went into the Army out of necessity, out of, hey, I need to take care of my brothers and sisters, to have big families and things like that. I think a lot of my older family, if they had the choice, some of them might not have made that choice either. I happen to be in a very blessed position where I had the choice to be like, that's something that I don't want to do. For some people, it's not really a choice. So, it's a choice, but not a choice, and so, this is just me talking. And so everybody don't want to be put in the system and been forced to go to war to fight against other black and brown people in other countries.
Yeah, no, nothing y'all said is wrong. I actually think I was surprised how vocal the 14% is. Because if anything, it's like, I think the vast majority of people would not want to do that. So anyway, we only have one segment left.
But
nope. Oh, go ahead.
Not particularly right now, the way that particularly Trump, knowing that Trump is quote unquote war hungry and he wants to go to war, a lot of people go, no.
Well, it's very real when someone you don't agree with and don't believe would be scrupulous is in charge. It's very pronounced. Like if we did the same poll during Biden, I think the numbers might even be not obviously, but it'd be affected by who's in charge. Because I don't think Biden would just sit, so people would go there, they would learn, they're part of a society, and it would be good. Whereas once Trump's in charge, and people gonna go there and they're gonna be invading Venezuela even though they don't want to.
Yes.
So yeah, I get it. All right, last segment is voicemails. One more break. All right, we have 4 voicemails, no emails, no physical mail.
Okay.
So, although we did get y'all's cards that I'm going to be sending out, so that should be going out soon.
Yay!
All right, first one's from Blue Wave Rider.
Happy New Year, Ralph and Katie. You know who this is? Hey, I'm listening to episode 3204, the feedback, and I was just thinking, from sugar grits to invasive species to silent L's to Rod's friendship with white people. I just love this show. Y'all crack me up. And I just like the controversy that goes back and forth among the TBGWT fan base. So, Happy New Year once again, and in leaving, I just want to say I never comb my hair while I'm cutting my lasagna with a K-knife.
With a K-knife? He called back. That's hilarious. Thank you.
Yes,
he called back.
Hey, Karen and Rod, you know who it is. I was just listening to 3204 and hear y'all talking about the penny shortage. Well, I guess I officially qualify as an old person because your boy keeps change close at hand. And it's wintertime.
That's good.
I got change in the pocket of all my winter coats. When I be stepping out and I had them little, they're not man purses, but like little mini backpacks.
Yes.
Things you sling over your shoulder, whatever they call them. I got me some change in there. I got some change in the car. And more times than not, when I go in to buy stuff and pay cash, I grab my little change pouch. Some of your readers might remember them little plastic or rubber change pouches. You squeeze them and they open up.
Yes, sir.
And you could pull change up out of them. So, anyway, I guess I'm from that lost generation because your boy keeps some cash on hand. You might want to make that a survey question or just,
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah,
y'all have a good one. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Out.
And that makes sense. I think for me, once they took ashtrays out of cars, it was very difficult for me to keep change because I used to always keep change in my ashtrays because like when cars physically had ashtrays.
Your car don't have an ashtray?
Does it have? No, I don't think it does.
Even that car old.
I don't think. No, my car does not have an ashtray. My car don't even have a lighter. At least I don't think it does. Does it?
I don't know, Karen. That's wild if your car ain't got no ashtray. But it makes sense though. It makes sense that ashtrays would be going out of cars. Our new car don't have an ashtray, but it does have a little place to put some change. But it's inside. The thing I think about is people breaking in cars.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I don't keep changing the car at this point because it's like motherfuckers will break in your car for change.
They will.
And I'm just like I don't want to give them no extra reason.
Yeah, to break into my car. But yeah, I think for me, once it got to the point where it was just more convenient to use a debit card or more convenient for me to tap and pay, and now like through my phone, my uses of cash went down. I try to keep a little bit of money on me, but the way my brain functions, anything over $40, I panic because I say, bitch, if I get robbed, that's it. I'm not getting my money back. My brain goes, I'd rather have it somewhere in the bank. Whereas if I need, secure, like my brain is like, no, if you take this $100 away from me, the $100 gone and I ain't getting it. My brain is like, you can't get it back. Put it somewhere where it's kind of, I don't want to say out of sight, out of mind, but where I know that it's gonna be there. Like I can't explain. It's the way my brain ticks. But I do need to keep cash on me because you never know when you're gonna be somewhere. Like a little bit more cash on me because you never know when you're gonna be somewhere where debit machines go down, credit card machine go down, shit tanks, and it's easy when you can be like, okay, here's the cash. Versus if your card don't work, that's it. We just us and the merchant is staring at each other until somebody fixes the shit.
All right. Next voicemail from Dre.
What's up, y'all? It's Dre. I was over here listening to the episode where y'all were talking about Australia changing their social media rules. And I really just called to say both of you are right in everything that you said. Like, I just got done reading this book called The Anxious Generation, and it's basically like, why is this new generation of kids so fucked up? Like, why are they so anxious? Why are they so risk averse? Why are they so like, why is their self-esteem so low? Like, all these things that are like features of like Gen Z. Like, it's not really, like how you hear people talk about, oh, millennials are lazy, millennials are this, and they think they're talking about little kids, but they're really talking about 40-year-olds, but whatever.
Right.
Like, it's not a subjective, anecdotal kind of thing that Gen Z has these like deficiencies, and it's almost like a mental health epidemic is really what it is. And long story short, it's all because of social media. Not all, but
it
highly
hard.
Because of social media. And yes, it fucks up our minds as much as it fucks up kids' minds. And yes, it is dangerous for kids to be online. It is more dangerous for a child to be online than it is to play outside. Literally, that's where they're more likely to encounter somebody who is going to do harm by them. And there's way less supervision, so it's way less likely that an adult's going to know what's going on in time to intercept any kind of misdoings or whatever. And while we own books, I don't know if you said this on the main show or on the pregame, Karen. God Full of Elephants is the best book that I read last year.
Okay, yeah, I said it on the pregame.
A great read. You will love that book. And
thank you, baby.
I know y'all don't do like whole ass book reviews or whatever, but hopefully, you know what I'm saying, when you finish it, we get a little tidbit about how you liked it, here or pregame or somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Personally, I want it because I read the book. I don't know what everybody else in the Black Guy Who Tips universe wants.
Okay.
It's not that I don't care. It's just not my number one priority. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear Aaron talk about this book. So that's all. Love you guys.
Peace.
Thank you, baby. I did. For those of you behind the paywall, pregame is a show that me, Roderick, and Justin do where we talk about additional things that kind of happen through the course of the week and things like that we don't actually talk about on the main show. And so we'll talk about what we've been doing, things we've been reading, things we've been kind of listening to, kind of more in-depth type of thing. And I talk about like audio books that I've been listening to, some, and not as in depth as the nerd off, but like maybe video games I'm playing, anime I'm watching, and things like that. And so that's one of the books that I've been listening to, and the thing that and I heard about it actually on War Report because I'm behind their paywall, and they were covering their Spotify, and this is one of the books that was linked to their podcast through Spotify. And so it made me interested in it because basically the concept of it, for those of you that don't know, the concept of it is everybody woke up one day and all the white people have died, and so they're functioning in a world without white people. And I haven't got that deep into it, but they said that, and I was like, that sounds interesting. I was like, just that concept sounds interesting. And they talk about how the world has stopped and how things have frozen and how, and so I was like, oh, okay. So, and your mama had told me she had read that book too, and I talked about it. So, so I will continue to listen to it and things like that. And yeah, when I get through it and things like that, it's Sky Full of Elephants. When I sit down and talk about it, talk about a pregame, I probably go in like more depths and more, details and things like that. Once I really sit down and spend more time with it.
And Karen Hunter is the one that kept telling me about. My goodness.
You okay over there?
Yes.
No problem. You saying Karen
Hunter's the one who kept telling me about it.
Okay.
I got it in my Kindle. I haven't started it yet. I need to finish Hate Monger first.
Okay.
All right. Last voicemail from Jen.
Hey, Rod. Hey, Karen. It's Jen, a.k.a. Esabalu. Happy New Year. Hope y'all are doing well. Loving the shows this year so far. I was calling in because a couple of feedback shows ago now, I believe her name was Joy. I hope I'm getting her name right. Said that she sings a banter song with her son. And I was like, oh, my God, not a mother-son moment with my song. So I wanted to call in and say thank you for supporting musicians and creators with playing music on your podcast because, we out here and it's a fine line between making music for fun and doing it for work. And a lot of times it feels like you're making music for other people. And with y'all, I know it's always going to be good vibes. You'll always at least give it a shot. And now other people hear it, so it's cool. It's been fun. I got a little burnt out at the end of last year, so I haven't sent y'all anything over in a while, but I definitely want to send some more music this year. I'm on a little walk, so hopefully y'all can hear me.
We can,
baby. Appreciate y'all for the support and for the ridiculous hours of content that you give us every week and every month. And hope y'all have a good one. Bye.
Oh,
thank you. And it means a lot to me that we have so many artistically inclined creative listeners.
Yes.
Who are inspired by things for the podcast. I sometimes I put a call out, but in general, like we're always open and hopeful for people that want to do stuff. Like there's people that have given us artwork that we've used for the show, put on t-shirts. Obviously the music. I mean, I try to shout out the guys, the people that could submit the music, the beat maker instrumental dudes, Isabalu, Jen, because there's thousands of people that hear this. Somebody might hear it that was like, I didn't know Felt 5 had it like this, and now you got a Felt 5 fan. And then also like that anyone would take the time out to be inspired by stuff we do specifically here and try to create something, which is already kind of a dicey proposition because just because you create it, we're not liars. Meaning like if we don't like it or it just don't fit the show, we'll play it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to become our favorite jam. But sometimes shit just become a jam. And then the last thing is when we make up segments and jokes, to see when it has inspired somebody to be like, this is the new LGBTQ news song. So we went from playing Sylvester, Do You Want a Funk, to the I Mike Bro, Let Me See What You Want to Be. And I'm like, nobody else has that.
Yes, it's very unique.
It's for us, and it's beautiful to be able to share that stuff with folks. So thank y'all to all the artists, because it also like helps that some of y'all are so talented, and it's such a it becomes a bop to me. You know, it's like, oh my God, I can't wait to take the first break and play the break song. You know, it's I'm jamming to it. Keeps the vibes high, keeps us going. And yeah, and we always look for submissions. If y'all see little areas of the show where you like, oh man, I could contribute. The main thing I'll tell you, you probably want to keep it short.
Yeah, keep it short.
Like I can't be playing people's whole albums, 5-6 minute songs and stuff. But when people submit something that is germane to the show, and like we don't have music for the Broke Fi Broke segment. You know, people might do something with that. There's music we do have, but man, sometimes it gets replaced by better songs. You know, there's stuff like I remember White People News, you know, and we get the official White People News song.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my God, this is beautiful. No one else has this. It's you know, Coronavirus went through 7 different remixes.
Like, yeah, it did.
So yeah, thank y'all everybody for helping making this possible, this 16-year journey.
Yes.
And that's it, man. Go Panthers.
Yeah, go Panthers. We're excited. Like Roger said, thank you. And like Roger said, shout out to the artists out there, because we know we have many talented people. Don't be scared. You know, don't be fearful, because you never know.
Y'all talented, man. And we don't mind showcasing the work and giving people credit where it belongs.
Right.
All right. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. Go Panthers.